Hey guys! Today's video is going to be my top 10 favorite albums of 2016. Because as much of a garbage fire 2016 was, it was really fucking awesome for music. And this is just my favorites. I clearly have a bias. First we have Hey Marseilles by Hey Marseilles. This album came out at a very poignant time for me. It was right at the beginning of the year. It was a whole new realm for these guys. It was a whole new sound. The first song I heard from this record was their cover of David Bowie's Heroes, and it came out like a month after he died. And it's such a good album. Like, it was so good. And I am going to point out that these are all full-length albums. If I was also including EPs, there would be a bunch more Seattle artists included in here because Seattle artists put out a fuck ton of EPs. If you're curious about what I think about Seattle music in general, you could go to Seattle Music Insider. I made an entire list of my favorite Seattle releases of the year. And Hey Marseilles is on that list, so. And these are in no particular order, by the way, until it gets to the end. Next we have No Grace by PAWS. And these guys put out a record back in May or June, one of these months. They opened for We Are Scientists several years ago, and this new record was fucking produced by Mark Hoppus. So, yeah. Next is Local Natives' Sunlit Youth, and I actually can't find the vinyl for this somewhere. It was either I had it or Sean had it. One of us bought the record. I honestly don't remember who it was. Having a roommate who also has a large record collection can be nice. Again, came out at a really relevant time. I saw them play in like a surprise show at the Sunset, which was really nice because I missed their show at the Paramount, Neptune, somewhere in September. This album is like beautiful. I don't like it as much as Gorilla Manor, but close second with Hummingbird. Local Natives, Sunlit Youth, fucking rad. Next we have Times Infinity by Watsky, and this I actually don't own on vinyl because I was so tired the night that he played. I just needed to go home. I didn't want to stand in line for merch, but I've been listening to it non-stop. Seeing him live again for the first time in like 3 years was really nice and really awesome. It was really good timing, again. Pretty much all the albums that came out this year had like impeccable timing for like where they fell in my life. So Watsky, yeah, Don't Be Nice is really awesome, and part 3 of Tiny Glowing Screens is fucking rad. Speaking of rap, there were like 2 albums that I was trying to figure out who was gonna be like my like 10th until like a week ago. When Run the Jewels dropped their 3rd LP, and I was like, well, they're on the list, so the other 2 don't matter anymore because Run the Jewels 3 is their album just snuck in right at the last second, right at the last minute. I was listening to it in my car the other day on my new stereo, and it was just like super loud and bumping, and I don't even own it yet. I've just been listening to it on Spotify. Next is Phase by Jack Garratt. This album totally snuck up on me. Actually, Sean told me about this artist, and I'm so glad that he did because I went and saw him play live, and he was rad. He makes a lot of noise for one dude, and he was super charming and British. He was really awesome, and I am very much looking forward to the next shit he has to offer the world. Yeah. Frightened Rabbits, Painting of a Panic Attack. And this album came out at a very painful time. Not gonna lie, the first part of this year was tumultuous when it comes to matters of the heart. This just made me feel a lot of shit, and when I saw that they were playing at Sasquatch, it made me so happy. But they had to cancel their show because wins, and when I did get to meet them, it kind of changed my life because Scott is one of the greatest songwriters I have ever had the privilege to see live and had the privilege to meet, and this album, oh boy, was painful as fuck. Get Out specifically was just like, oh god, oh pain, out, pain in my soul, pain in my heart. Like, the lyrics are literally, get out of my heart, and cryptic as fuck. Next was another album that snuck up on me, the new Pop Etc. record. Now, I've been a fan of the Morning Benders, Pop Etc., for about 10 years now. Holy god. When they changed their name, I don't know how I felt about the first record. It wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't what I wanted. It's beautiful. And this song, again, Please Don't Forget Me. Like, that song when it premiered on Stereo Gum, I believe, I hit play. Within like the first verse and first chorus, I was in like tears because I was like, Chris, how did you get inside my brain? And there's other just really catchy songs like Vice, What Am I Becoming, Bad Break, and I wanted to change the world, but the world changed me. So good. I'm so happy that they're back to doing things that I love wholeheartedly. Not that their last record was bad, it just wasn't. It didn't hit me in the same way. Now, these last two albums, in a way, one impacted me more than the other, miraculously. Somehow, I could fall into like, We Are Scientists, like top 10 biggest fans probably ever. Top 20, 15. I love them so much. Like, this album, on the other hand, is like pretty as fuck. Because it's like blue and it's beautiful. So this album came out and I was like, my world has changed again. Yay, We Are Scientists. And the album art is like flawless. Like, what? Excuse me? What? This album, like Buckle, In My Head, Too Late, Want for Nothing, Classic Love, Headlights. I like this one better than TV on Marseilles and Barbara, I think. I think this is my favorite one since Brain Thrust Mastery. I'm so happy that these songs are so good. So good. Like, you get like Keith belting out again, and it's everything that you wanted, and I just love them. Aside from that album, there was one that it did help me work out some shit, and that is Daughters Not to Disappear. Now, I bought that album. I went to Sonic Boom and picked up, I don't even know what I picked up, honestly. I bought an album and I saw that on the shelf of new CDs. I honestly hadn't listened to Daughter that much. I knew Youth, and really that was it. Like, I didn't know their music very much. I had never seen them live. I had heard probably a couple songs on the radio, but I bought Not to Disappear on a whim, and I put it in my car, and it just like, everything like sunk. Everything like fell to the floor. Like, my heart was on the floor. My like limbs just felt like heavy, and it just fucking like kicked me in the chest. While Helter Seltzer was so much fun and it made me feel so happy, and it brought my year up, because honestly the first third of this year was kind of a shit show, personally. What Daughter's album did, it like fulfilled a purpose that I wished I didn't need. Like, I wish I didn't have to have that feeling, but it did. It hit me in the chest, man. It like, oh, it was hard. It was hard, it was painful, but it was beautiful and it was cathartic. And when I saw them live, it was like just as cathartic, and I like wept with my friend Lindsay. Like, we cried together, and we were like at a point when like I could kind of feel that she was crying and like I was crying. We like both put our arms down and just like held hands. That's the kind of shit that Daughter made me feel this year. I can't honestly say the same thing for the new We Are Scientists record. There was always that rush, like when your favorite band puts out new shit and like puts out new stuff and you like hear a song for the first time. Like, I got a lot of that this year, which was really awesome. It was a contrast with Not to Disappear, because it was like ripping everything out of me, but then We Are Scientists was just like making me excited and happy. It's a toss-up, honestly, what my favorite record of the year is. That never happens, honestly. That usually doesn't happen. Last year it was hard to choose, but this year was like really hard to choose. And like I said before, that is just the tip of the iceberg with like what great music came out this year. So in the comments below, let me know what your favorite album of the year is, and let me know if you have listened to any of these or if you're curious about them. And if you want to see my favorite Seattle releases, go to seattlemusicinsider.com. I will post a link to it below, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!